The modern world moves at an exhausting speed. For most of us, the traditional image of meditation, spending months or years in a silent, forested retreat, feels entirely out of reach. This creates a daunting assumption that meaningful mental changes require a lifetime of intense discipline or hours of daily stillness to take root. However, research from 2026 involving scientists from Harvard Medical School and the University of Montreal has challenged that timeline. They shifted focus from what changes in the brain to the exact minute those changes begin. By tracking brainwaves second by second, we can now map how the mind shifts from distraction to a specific state of relaxed alertness. We can see exactly when the brain reaches its peak intensity and how to apply these findings to your own routine. This chronological data effectively lowers the entry requirements for meditation. It suggests that the physiological benefits once reserved for lifetime practitioners are available within the span of a single 10-minute window. At minute 0, you begin by watching your breath. This is an active process. Every time your mind wanders, you acknowledge the distraction before gently returning your attention to the center. Within 2 to 3 minutes of this repeated cycle, high-density scanners begin to record the first significant physiological shifts. The data shows a sudden rise in 2 specific frequencies. Alpha waves increase to quiet anxiety and intrusive thoughts, while theta waves begin to climb, marking the start of deep inward reflection. For practitioners with thousands of hours of experience, this timeline is even shorter. Their brains are conditioned to trigger this exact theta wave spike in as little as 30 seconds. This suggests that the difference between a beginner and a master is a matter of physiological readiness. Through practice, the brain learns to access this state of reflection almost instantly. To find the absolute peak of this state, researchers used magnetoencephalography to measure the brainwaves of advanced monks from the Thai forest tradition. They found that the brain reaches its maximum intensity between 7 and 10 minutes into the practice. This peak is marked by a surge in beta-1 waves, which facilitates sharply alert concentration. This chart shows the brain at that 7-minute mark. While the alpha and beta waves remain high, the delta waves associated with deep sleep drop away entirely. You are not simply resting, you are in a unique state of relaxed alertness. At this peak, the brain signals become more complex than they are during rest. This complexity results from a balance between stability, which allows information to flow reliably, and flexibility, which allows the brain to adapt. Researchers call this state criticality, a sweet spot where the brain processes information with maximum efficiency. The type of meditation you choose affects this balance. Samatha practice tilts the brain towards higher stability and focus, while Vipassana keeps it centered in that optimal state of criticality. Reaching this state shows meditation is a dynamic tuning of the brain's internal network, actively reorganizing neural patterns to better support mental health and resilience. Most importantly, the study confirmed that this 7-minute peak applies even to participants who have never meditated before. The brain is physiologically prepared to enter this state regardless of experience. To reach this state tomorrow, aim for a session lasting 7 to 10 minutes. The data confirms this is the specific window required for your brainwaves to reach their peak intensity. You must also commit to staying with the practice past the initial 3-minute mark. Since the physiological onset takes a few minutes to begin, you need to push through the initial urge to stop. Use the simple loop of focusing on your breath and returning when your mind wanders. You don't need any special gear or complex mantras to initiate this neural reorganization. A more resilient and focused brain state is available immediately. All it requires is 10 minutes of your morning, the same time you might spend waiting for a cup of coffee.